So I don't. I struggle with teaching. I don't really get it. I have a very simple message often, and that is, in terms of personal finance, every time that you make money in your life, take 15% of that and invest it in mutual funds and index funds. And this is not like a big thing. It's not sort of scary and it's not like a big thing, pay off your debts and then invest everything that you 15% of everything you make. You'll be so phenomenally wealthy by the time that oh, and the other component is to invest it for 90 years, for like just a crap ton long, right? Like a super long time. Don't take your money out and all that kind of stuff. And it's funny because I can't connect. I can connect with some I can connect with some people about this, um, and sort of resonate in terms of what's going on in the sort of big picture of it. And it's just, it's probably a small group, but the rest of everybody, I don't really get why this is like not only phenomenally interesting, but like crazy motivating. Like when you just see the numbers, right? Like super basic numbers, nothing is sketchy in any sort of way. I don't say, play the market. I don't say anything that is considered risky at all. Perhaps maybe if you were 80 years old, this advice maybe would not work out for you. But for almost everybody, um, the sort of idea, and this is like the most concrete research ever. Like it is well understood. Vanguard Mutual Funds has made the entire industry based on this sort of idea. One of the largest mutual fund companies that is it is like won the Nobel Prize for Eugene Fama and Fama in French. Like this is super solid understanding. There's nothing like woo. Just invest in index funds and good mutual funds. Like nothing risky. Like stuff that like normal people would invest in index funds and do that for a crap ton long period of time. Like at least 20, 30, 40 years, and you will be phenomenally wealthy. Like, there's nothing behind it. I mean, you look at the numbers, it's easy to make these calculations, right? It's on average, it's 10% a year. You can look at this for many, many years. It has not really changed. It comes up and down. And yes, there's bad years and good years. You might have a bad decade, it's a good decade. But for the most part, it kind of always goes up every 5 years. You're almost guaranteed. There's been, as far as I know, there's not been a single 5 year period in the stock market existence that it has had negative returns. And with all of this, and the thing is, we did this even for a normal salary, right? Like making 50 grand a year, and you did this, that's like $6,000 a year, and you did this for your entire life, you'd be phenomenally wealthy. Like, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. It's pretty easy to do, but you could look at it. It's over $1 million, which I would consider phenomenally wealthy by the time that you're, old and crusty and ready to do whatever you want to do. So, I the funny thing is I try to teach this and I try to connect, and I try to sort of show this. There's a cool graph that you can see. Um, the cool graph is American Funds has this. They spent some time making it. They call it mountain chart, and you can see this over years and years and years, just growing phenomenally. There's nothing like sketchy with any of this kind of stuff. Like nothing sketchy, right? Like it's solid, and yet I can't connect. I can't get people to sort of see this. I can't get everybody to see this. And ultimately, I have to come to the conclusion that only some people are ever going to sort of get it, right? Like and the reason is not because it requires a lot of cognitive processing and thinking and stuff, is there's all sorts of reasons why people just don't want to get something and don't want to really do it, right? Like, and it's not because of all the things that you think. It might be simply because I'm in a position of so-called authority, but in my head I don't view that. I'm just kind of an explorer, babbling and bumbling along. And because I'm in a position of authority, they're automatically going to discount and contradict and just be um, you know just kind of angry because of the fact that I'm in a position of authority, because it's how that they were raised, or the life that they sort of, that's how they view that kind of thing. It might be because I'm, male or whatever, right? Like it could be any kind of thing, because I'm 5'10" and I'm not tall, right? Or because I don't know, any stupid number of things, right? I've got hair, that's not gray. Like any number of things that have no rhyme or reason, and you shouldn't think it makes a lot of sense, and it's not clear why that is the case. And yet people will just not resonate with it. And someday maybe they will, but often they won't, and you have to be okay with that, right? So every 1,000 people, let's say, make it easy, every 100 people that you sort of try to get them to see, or just love on, like just try to be nice and encourage and all of this kind of stuff, just to say, hey, you can do this. This is, it's not easy, but it's absolutely possible to do that. And when you're done, you will thank me so much. Um, and yet, of those 100 people that you actually ask, there's only maybe going to be 10 that are going to even pay attention to it and resonate with it, and maybe one that is actually going to implement and try to work hard at that. And from me, as somebody that is, you look at this stuff and you're like, this is like crazy. Why do we live in a world that wealth could be so bountiful? Like, for some people it is, right? And they sort of get this, but then why is this not distributed across the board? And it's not because of the sort of system that is set up and all of that kind of stuff. It's simply because I think, actually, part of it is because that we give people, and I know this sounds really bad, but just hear me out, we give people choice, right? And this sort of capitalist system is choice is at the center of this, right? This is kind of the heart of capitalism, or markets, and that people have choice, which is really positive a lot of times. But if you look at the understanding in the last 30 years in terms of how people make choices and how we understand economics and psychology, is people make craptacular choices, right? Like, they just don't do a very good job, including myself. Um, I love to eat me a bowl of ice cream every night. I love that. It tastes yummy. But I know that's not a good choice in terms of, on one side it sort of soothes the soul, but on the other side it's not really a healthy choice. Um, and if that was restricted across the board, if the country I lived in didn't produce ice cream, I would be in a good spot. I'd probably maybe find another vice, but that I I would be probably in a better spot. Um, so I just want everybody to know is that if you're in this situation, if you're a parent, if you are an educator, if you are a friend, if you are um, any just somebody off the street. Almost always, you're going to say something that's going to be super sound advice. It's going to be really, even if it's super sound, it's good, solid. This is will change somebody's life. Um, you can tell 100 people that same thing, and only one person's ever going to pick up on it. And so the story, or the outcome that I want you to know, is that don't give up on yourself because of the 99 people that didn't listen out of the 100. You do it because of the one person that listens and gets it, and then they resonate with it. And I think that's the important lesson to go and to sort of go forward. I've talked about, it's not about, um, and this is where I struggle. It's not about helping the best win often, but it's about helping everybody. But often, the average doesn't want to win, and they don't see it, and they don't want to be. Um, they don't want to improve. I mean, the amount of information I've given out, not to make, might be a little quacky and all that kind of stuff, but amount of people that could be helped and have a healthy and happy life that's financially sound and all that kind of stuff. They're never going to listen to this because they just think that they know better. And that's, I have to be happy with that. I have to be okay with that. And I think that's an important lesson for myself. It's a real psychological battle doing this, where I just simply have to be okay with who I am, and I have to be grounded and know that not everybody is going to be responsive and understanding, and for all sorts of reasons outside of one's control, and you just simply have to be okay with that. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.